How's it going, everyone? Guess what? We're doing another garden tour.
Do you know what number?
15.
15? 16?
15. Didn't you look?
Sure? No, I didn't look.
Our memories are not that good. So we were both off. It's week 17.
Yeah.
So we had an issue. If you can see, like black marks. And the potatoes over there.
Dug up potatoes.
Dug up potatoes. Some more digging over there. Digging here.
Look at our onion gone.
We got vicious animal problem that we've been dealing with. And we finally figured it out because I watched him do it. So we took care of it. The chickens are getting in our garden.
Oh.
So I'm going to show you how they're getting in. I thought they were flying, so I'm clipping the wings again, and I just can't figure it out. For the life of me, it's just bugging me. You see that broken off sunflower? Well, it was overhanging down, so it was about knee high, a foot off of the log. They would jump from the log, jump on there, and jump over the fence. I watched them because I was right here filling the feed bucket full of water. So I took care of that problem.
Yeah, now that the garden's just about done, hopefully we don't have any more issues with any animals in the garden until next year.
Yeah.
And maybe even not next year, that'd be great.
Do you guys have any issues with any animals at your house? Chickens, pigs, cats, dogs, squirrels, rabbits?
Peacocks.
Peacocks.
So our tomatoes in our garden are still turning red. We are expecting freezing temps in the next week or two. So we'll see if that actually happens. It seems like the weather has been up and down and all around, but we have not had freezing temps yet. So we've been just kind of letting the tomatoes go as long as they can.
So week 17, chicken food.
So we're getting this really nice ground cover in our garden. All the leaves are starting to fall, and you can hear that kind of crunch as you're walking around the garden. There's not really a whole lot more growing, but thank goodness we've got our greenhouse. Kind of stuck in between the fence. I didn't even see those. Probably thought they were a blade of grass. This might be a tad large.
There's another one. Those two are big.
That one looks good though. Here I thought these pole beans were done, but we found those couple and there's even some new flowers on them. I think it's about 82, 83 in here. Woo, it's hot. I think our onions are finally dry. We can get these out of here. Just coming in our greenhouse is such a difference in environment. The temperature is different. The feeling is different. You can smell the plants in here and the dirt and the wood of the greenhouse. Anyways, it's cool to see all the green life in here as we see everything else kind of coming to an end in the garden. You can tell things in here are growing slower than they did in the past, but it's still really neat to see everything that's going on. These green peppers, we can pretty much pick them now if we want to use them. They're still pretty small, but it's awesome to see that we have green peppers just kind of still hanging on in here. The ones in the garden have pretty much stunted. They're all about this size and they haven't gotten much bigger.
One thing I wanted to show you guys was, look at the stalk. So, look at that. Compared to my fingers, that's thicker than my ring. That's just as thick as my ring finger, and it's thicker at the bottom. It's crazy how that's just growing so fast.
This tomato plant, it is just wild. This is just one plant. We're noticing a little bit of change on the leaves, which makes us a little nervous because it looks a lot like what first plant we planted in here did, and then we ended up chopping it off once we had like a regrowth. So I'm hoping there's nothing bad with it. But the amount of like tomatoes and blossoms and just growth of this tomato plant is really, really cool. I've never seen anything like this.
So the tomato plant that I took a branch off of this one and I put it over here and I just buried it. The branch was this big total and I buried half of it. And look at this thing. I can say it's thriving. So my goal is to keep that one alive during winter. I don't think I'm going to keep this one alive. Hence the bigness. So what I'm going to do this winter is try to keep this one low to the ground and keep it low to the ground so the ground puts off some heat for it and it doesn't freeze. And yeah, we'll see. Then we'll have tomatoes as soon as January and February, if I can keep it alive. If not, I'll just plant one in here, whatever. But the pepper plants, craziness. These are the plants that we chopped the tops off all of them, and there's so many peppers on here. This is unreal. This is so cool. And when you come down here, you have, there is a cluster of, looks like 8 of them just right there that are all that big. And this to me is really neat because if we can keep these alive, then we're gonna have peppers early next year, and abundance of peppers, because these plants are thriving. So the radishes are coming in really good. We're gonna plant more and keep these in rotation because we actually really like the greens. I made some scrambled eggs this morning and I put some in there. It adds good flavor. And when the bulbs start coming in, the radishes, we actually will cut them up and throw them in the pan, and it's got like a little crunch to the eggs every once in a while, and it adds a nice like almost like a peppery flavor to it. It's very, very good when they're fried. It's a totally different flavor than a regular radish. So if you don't like radishes, give that a try. It actually is really nice. But the greens are very good for you, so that's what we really like, to switch it up so we're not always using spinach. And Evan and I love radishes, so definitely keep these going.
That radicchio, the celery, the lettuce, it's all growing slow, but it's all growing, all coming in. And then our bush beans, they look really, really good. We have so many flowers. So according to the date I planted these should be ready to harvest at the end of the week. I don't think that's happening. I don't think they're gonna be ready to harvest. I'm not seeing any beans. There might be beans on them, but I'm seeing a lot of flowers instead. So hopefully we'll get them in soon before it gets too cold in here for them. Oh, Matt just said he saw one. Where is it? Look at that little bean. Our carrot tops have such a beautiful color. The actual root of the carrot is still pretty small, so hopefully we get some carrots in here. We've got a few different kinds planted around, and if they do well, we might plant some more in here and just kind of leave them as long as they can. We've also got a lot of spinach going. It's at the point where you can start cutting it if you want to cut leaf by leaf, but we'll probably wait till it gets a little bigger. And we're hoping we have plenty to use fresh for all the things we cook and salad, and maybe freeze some, because it is really nice to just have that on hand.
So there you go. Garden's kind of coming down to the end, and the greenhouse is still jamming.
Yeah, that was our hope. Hopefully it keeps on going on.
So far as the garden videos go, we're going to keep going until we pull everything basically out of the garden. And I think we're just going to transition into Mondays as the greenhouse through the winter. So we'll start labeling greenhouse probably here, just to kind of let you guys know. And then when this spring we start planting the garden, we'll go back to garden tours, right?
Yeah. Looking ahead.
So if you want, follow us this winter with our greenhouse / hoop house, or whatever you want to call it. And to do that, subscribe.
Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, so that you see more from us.
Glad you got to see us again.
Bye.
Bye.